She's a winner.
And welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, where you take enlightened entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge topics in the world of relationships, culture, business, and spirituality. And here's your host, Miss Carol Boston.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show. I'm so excited to be here today, December 11th. Santa Claus is coming soon. Now look behind me at the trees and they're blowing. You know, I'm your weather girl. It was like, I don't know, 78, almost 80 today right now. But tomorrow morning when we wake up, it's going to be 58. I am going to be so excited to go outside first thing in the morning and enjoy the cool air. Now, you know how technology gives you little glitches? I'm sitting here looking on the StreamYard screen, and right now we're not live to Facebook because it says an error occurred on Facebook. And this is usually temporary. Wait a moment and try again. So I'm going to hit go live and try again. Because if we don't try again, we're not going to be live anywhere except right here on StreamYard for those that have the link to StreamYard. And you guys know how much I love having a dialogue and not a monologue. I'm going to catch my breath. I'm talking kind of fast, right? It's been a fun, busy day. Just got off with a great client. I'm so excited to see her step into 2025. It's her year of yes. I encouraged her. She probably felt a little challenged. I encouraged her to start saying yes to everything and then figuring it out. She has some health challenges. So often when she's invited to do something, she thinks of all the reasons to say no. You know, what if this happens? What if I don't feel good? What if this happens? And then if she turns it down and nothing happens, she passed up an opportunity. We've all done it, right? We've all passed up an opportunity. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Bear with me. Oh, it looks like it worked. Yay, we're live on Facebook. Woo! When you see us here live on Facebook, please chime in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. We are only a few weeks away from a new year, and we were talking about stepping into the year of yes. That's kind of the same thing for me. My theme, my word for 2025 is consistency. Consistency in all areas. But then I realized it's also about completion. How many of us, come on, I know I'm not alone. Put it in the chat, Yana. You are not alone, Carol. Right? We start things, but we don't always finish them. Some things we do. And other things we'll start, not finish, start, not finish. And what happens is it becomes a pattern and a habit. And then we begin to doubt ourselves and we don't trust ourselves that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. So for me, it's not just consistency, but it's be consistency and completion. I spoke with the CEO of Codebreaker Technologies. Come on. You know, we're going to be changing the show to crack your code, reframe your life. Had a 1-hour meeting with the CEO of Codebreaker Technologies, the inventors of bank communication methodology that you've heard me talking about. And starting in January, we're going to have people coming on live on the show, and they're going to crack their code first. I'm going to be having other experts who've been doing this much longer than me come on and do some teaching as well. And my mentor was on that call, and I made a decision that I am going to go ahead and get certified. So in January, I'm going to start the certification program. I even had someone say to me, well, what exactly does that do for you? Because I've been through the iOS coaching program twice. I'm going through it again, starting in January. Once you go through it, you can go through it for free as many times as you want. And what I learned is that I learn something new every time because different people show up to it. It's 14 weeks, an hour and a half each week, different from the certification. The certification will also come with a license, which means I can then go out and create my own seminars, charge whatever I want to whomever I want, and put together a change in people's lives, not only from being the queen of reframe, right? Empowering questions, but it ties in so well with bank and that methodology and what it's really doing in the world, saving relationships, saving marriages, and helping business owners increase their sales by 300%. That's one of their slogans, right? Because there's 4 codes. Everybody has a dominant code. Everybody has all 4 codes in them, just to varying degrees. But the Challey Group, and we'll be talking about this in the spring too, the Challey Group did a study, and 82% of all people only buy from someone with their same dominant code. That means if we don't understand how to speak into the code, the other 3 codes, we're leaving 300% on the table for our competition to take. And in speaking with the CEO on Monday, she said, it's not really increase your sales by 300%, right? It's what's the value of one sale? And you increase the number of times you close that by 300%, it could be in the millions of dollars, depending on the company and the product and what you're selling. So if you're interested in being on this show and being a part of our change in the new year, I'm going to be sending my technical expert who runs this show. It's long overdue. The link, it'll go in the requirements to crack your code before you come on the show. You're going to learn a lot about you, how you're showing up in the world, and then how you can apply that to improve your communication, your, how can I say, your selling ability, whether it's in a conversation with your child, your teenager, your partner, your spouse, your parent. How many of you would like to close more sales? You're in a sales conversation every time you have a conversation. You're either selling someone into your vision or you're getting sold into theirs. I call it the art of enrollment. How many of you as parents would like to enroll your children in what you want them to do faster and easier? One of the things that impacted me, her name is Mamie. She's been a trainer with Bank for 16 years. She's been their longest trainer. And a few months ago, she said on a training one day, she was talking about the value of Bank and was teaching on some of the different codes. And she says, one of the things Bank does for parents is it helps them learn how to love the child they have, not the child they said they wanted. Let that sink in. I don't even have children. And I was like, and I wrote it down. Many years after my mother passed away, I remember my dad look at me in the eye and he goes, you just weren't the daughter your mother always wanted. Think about that. How many parents, and I'm going to put this in air quotes, are mistreating their children because they're not loving the child that God gave them? And we talk about that when we talk about empowering questions, opening the door to possibility. When we decide what the outcome must be ahead of time, when we are attached to that outcome, we just narrowed and limited all of the possibilities for a solution. I will tell you that oftentimes the solution is right in front of you, but you've decided it's got to look like something else and you totally pass it by. Think about that. And many times it might have been a better, easier, faster solution that God and the universe provided you that you weren't willing to see. We get to not be attached to the outcome. Remember the 4 caveats of empowering questions. Specific, time bound. You're not to sit around and try to figure out the answer, because where's the answer? The answer's outside your jar. And we're all in a jar. And the 4th caveat is we cannot be attached to the outcome. What if we came from a place of curiosity and not judgment? I was just talking to a client about that. I'm working with an energy healer in a group right now. And I heard her say the other day, she says, be careful what you ask for and the way you ask for it. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking I'm pretty good about that. I'm all about we create as we speak and our languaging. But she said this, I want you to think about this. She said, don't just ask for abundance. That's not specific. That's not clear. You might be thinking money or wealth or love, but all you ask for is abundance, and you could get an abundance of shit. You could get an abundance of problems. You could get an abundance of health issues, right? Specificity gives us clarity. Clarity gives us power. Power in our language and power in our choices and power over our lives. Where are you being vague? What one place in your life are you letting yourself off the hook consistently? Come on, we all have it. We do it. We all do it. We're human beings, right? That's why it's so important to having a coach for accountability so you don't get let off the hook. There's a client I started working with about 3 or 4 months ago, and after the second session, she's like, "Oh my God, you really are going to hold me accountable." Yes, I am. You get to show up, you get to do the work, and you get to see the results. I show up for you 150% every time I show up to coach. Are you willing? That's the challenge, right? Are you willing? What are we willing to do? Am I on my soapbox today? Maybe. Maybe. That's okay. I can just preach to me, right? I'm learning and growing just like you are. We're just in different places. Just like I get to help you, there's somebody that's a few steps behind you that you get to reach back and help too and guide them along the way. You get to be the solution, just like I'm the bridge for my clients from where they are to where they really want to go. Are you willing to be the bridge? Kind of gives you a good picture, right? Crossing the bridge from where you are to where you want to go. I'm really working consistently with my client. Every one of my clients is challenged to be consistent from a celebratory perspective with their NLP, neuro-linguistic programming celebration. It's a challenge, especially for the women. Come on, how many women out there? You can put in the comments, say, that's me. Have a hard time celebrating yourself. Oh, well, that's what I was supposed to do. Oh, I can't say that about myself. It would be bragging. My mama would think I was boastful. No. If you did it, you accomplished it, you get to own it, regardless of what anybody else thinks or says. Their judgments and opinions of you aren't about you. They're about them. I wish I knew what was going on with that dog in the other room. Part of me wants to get up and just go muzzle it. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, my goodness. I like those Shiba Inu dogs. They don't bark. It's my kind of dog. Right. But Carol, don't you want a guard dog? Nope. Don't need guarding. Lock the door, set the alarm at night. I'm fine. Don't need a dog to bark at everything that goes by the door. Oh, did I say that last week, Aruba? I said, dogs love me. And I dog sit often. I don't want to own a dog. I don't own a dog. I've never owned a dog. Dog are like kids to me. Kids love me too. And I'm great with them for a while. But I'm happy when I get to give them back to their parents. Same thing goes for the dogs. Oh my God. How many of you have ever had a Velcro dog? It goes everywhere you go. Have you ever stepped on that dog? I did the other day. Didn't even know it was so close to being underfoot. Like, can I please go to the bathroom by myself? Can I please just leave the room by myself? Come on. Now, some people love that, right? That's their main companion. They like knowing that they're right there. Not me. Oh, I went to see the symphony on Sunday. How many of you have ever heard the holiday pops at the symphony? It was awesome. Took my good friend Rev Deb for her birthday. So there I was sitting here Sunday morning. How many of you have ever gotten your card scammed? And had an email from the venue, the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, that said, we have a new way that we're parking. We're using a new app. Here's the app. You have to download the app. There's not going to be any attendance at the gate anymore. You got to pay through the app. So I went to download the app and put my stuff in, put my credit card information in, hit boom, and literally less than 5 seconds, I get a text from Wells Fargo. Did you just authorize a charge for $39.95? I replied back, nope, we're going to block your card. Call us. This place sent me to an app that has fraud. Thank goodness I gone to the bank and got cash that morning, right? Because now I don't have a card. I simplified my life. For those of you who don't know, in the beginning of the year, I have one card. I use that card and I pay cash. And it has really helped me and simplified my life. Sometimes we get to do these things. I used to have 3 or 4 cards. A lot of people have even more than that. Can get kind of complicated, end up paying too much in interest, right? Or missing a payment. All kind of things can happen. So I'm cardless this week. And I made a list of all the places that automatically bill that card that I now get to go back and spend all this time recreating, right? Like my car insurance, my T-Mobile cell phone bill. What else is on my list? My gym membership, my Zoom that I pay for business, all kind of things. But they blocked it. They gave me the credit back. We'll start fresh. So my good friend Rev Deb met me there and I said, you get to pay for my parking and I can give you cash, but we get to use your credit card. She's like, no problem. We went and had lunch at Bandoleros, luncheon, Casamigos Reposado Tequila. We had a fun time. Who's ready? Who's ready for us to delve into our Ayala Banzan Today book? Where is everybody today? Last week we had so many new people here. I had so much fun having a conversation. I love having a dialogue. I like, in general, I genuinely like people. December 11th. The theme for December is, I will know peace when, ... Today is, I will know peace when I heal my need for external acceptance and recognition. There is a need that many people struggle with for a good portion of their lives. It is the need to receive or experience the acknowledgement and acceptance of others. Even when we are not aware that this is what we're doing, we equate those two things with being loved. To be loved is a basic human need. Beneath the need for acceptance and acknowledgement is the cry for self-love. Sometimes having someone else acknowledge you is far more satisfying than simply loving yourself. Perhaps it is because you really don't trust yourself or your own love. When you know in your heart of hearts that you're withholding love or forgiveness from someone else, your love will not be enough to satisfy you. The principle at work in this experience is what you withhold from others will be withheld from you. Oh, can I get an amen? Somebody put that in the comments. I'm going to say it again. What you withhold from others will be withheld from you. Are you withholding forgiveness? People aren't going to forgive you. Are you withholding love? Are you withholding joy from somebody? Are you being a grouch and withholding peace? We get to look at these things in our lives that we don't often pay attention to. When you withhold your love from someone in response to their actions, you are withholding acceptance. When you withhold acceptance, you will be driven to receive it from others. Every living being, regardless of their actions, deserves your love. Your love is an acknowledgement that regardless of their behavior, you recognize them to be a divine creation of God. The spirit of life knows when you are withholding acceptance. It also knows that you can never experience what you will not offer. How many of you have ever heard the saying, you can't give away what you don't possess? If it's not in you, you can't give it away. It also knows that you can never experience what you will not offer. You will never experience the external acceptance you desire until you internally acknowledge your acceptance of another. Until today, you may have been seeking the acceptance that you have been withholding from somebody else. Let that one sink in. I'm going to say it again, even if I'm only talking to me. Until today, you may have been seeking the acceptance that you have been withholding from someone else. Just for today, open your heart to someone you have shut out. It doesn't mean that they were right. It means that you are willing to heal. Today, I'm devoted to opening my heart, to acknowledging and accepting that I have enough love to sustain myself and to offer to others. Thank you, Miss Ayala Von Zant. What's on your mind today? What did that stir up for you? We do stuff like that, not just in our personal lives. We do it in our businesses. We eye the competition with an evil eye. And we say what? Judgmental things about them, not realizing that the judgment isn't about them. It's about us. It's about us. I remember probably 35 years ago being in therapy, and there were two ladies at work at AT&T, and one was really, really, really skinny. I mean, she was skinny. And the other one was really, 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 really not skinny. And I would watch the skinny one bring in this big old pizza and feed the other one. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? You're supposed to be friends, right? Long and short of it is, I'm chatting about this in therapy one night. And as the conversation went along, I was telling the therapist why it bugged me that I thought a friend would do something different, blah, blah, blah. You know, me and all my judgment back then. And so she looks at me and she says, Carol, what is it about your body that you don't like? What? You see, all of my judgment 35 years ago about the woman who was obese wasn't really about her at all. That's when I first began to learn 35 years ago that my judgment of others is not about them, it's about me. And other people's judgments and opinions of me are none of my business. They're not about me, it's about them. And often people don't want to realize that. Powerful. Who are you looking for acceptance from? And there's things you don't even like about yourself. Who are you looking to give you outside validation so that you feel better about you, so that you don't have to do the work? You don't have to look at you. Well, here's the thing. This kind of work, it doesn't get done in a vacuum. People don't overcome this alone. They hire good coaches like me. I'm coaching in somebody else's mastermind as well as my own private clients right now. And there have been 3 individuals that I was coaching that ended their time in the 1-year mastermind. And they said, I would stay. I would pay for another year if I got you and the vault and the retreat. I don't want all the other stuff. One lady went so far as to approach the CFO to see if they would create a new program. They said no. That's an additional revenue stream that they're losing. But I know one thing, all 3 of these people are like, I want you. If I'd had you at the beginning, when I first started this mastermind, my results would have been completely different. One of the ladies that they let me work with for 2 months, I only got 4 sessions with her. 4 sessions. She was already out of the mastermind, had gotten 0 results, no new clients. After her first session with me, she got her first paying client. Now, are you sitting out there saying, Carol, stop bragging? It's not bragging. I helped her do that. 1 session, got her first paying client. She jumped up out of her chair the next time we met, and she's like, if I'd had you from the beginning, I'd have gotten more. I said, you'd have gotten a lot more than 1 client. It's totally okay, and it's good to own what you're good at. Where are you hiding? What does the Bible say? Don't put your light under a bush. Your gifts and skills and talents, the ones that God gave you and the ones that you've honed and worked on, they're not to be hidden under a bush for fear that somebody might call you bragging or boastful. No, stick your chest out. I've done this. I'm good. I have evidence. Credibility, authority, it's powerful. Some parents don't even have credibility with their kids. How many of you had parents that would say one thing and do another? I did. How many of you had parents that said, don't do as I do as I say? What a hypocrite. Consistency is the word going forward into 2025. I was listening to a 8-figure going on 9-figure coach who has 6 major companies under her umbrella. And she said that most times in her experience, entrepreneurs fail because they stop doing what was working. Change their messaging, change what they were doing to go try something new. She said, you get really good at repeating the same thing over and over and over and over from a place of honesty and authenticity to develop trust. And in today's world, trust is paramount. It's the number one key. I'm here to let you know that when we work together, you can trust that I'm going to show up for you 150% every single time. I had one client, this was it'll be 2 years ago now, January. He said, that's it. You're my last coach. I said, what do you mean? He had some other coaches, but the last one was a coach that I'm familiar with. It's on LinkedIn. And he told me his name. And I was like, oh, tell me about that program. And he did. Expensive program. All fluff, no meat, no nothing. And he said, so you're my last coach. So what if I don't get the results? We line them up and I don't get the results in the 6 months of your program. I said, as long as I can see that you're doing the work, I'll coach you for another 6 months until you do. And his eyes lit up. That's me owning. I'm a good coach. If you're doing the work, I'm not worried about having to coach everybody for a year. It's not going to happen. They can choose to stay for a year and we can set new goals and continue to grow them and improve them. We're almost at the end of the year. If you're watching this on replay, make a comment. DM me. I'm easy to find. It's the @sign, @THE, @the Carol Boston. That'll get you to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'll be honest, I don't do a lot on Instagram. Got a lot of pictures there. But LinkedIn and Facebook, let's connect. Nobody does it alone. I don't do it alone. Every good coach has a good coach. All right, my friends, it's 30 minutes. Let's wrap up this show. Go in peace. Many blessings to each and every one of you. I'm going to get to talk about next week that I went to the 5th largest in the world International Winterfest Boat Parade on Saturday night. Get ready. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to be sitting right on the water. I'm so excited. Make sure that you get somebody to smile every day. Go in peace, knowing that all is well. And remember what the shaman said. Everything always has been. Everything is. And everything always will be fine. Blessings. Go in peace, everybody. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Entrepreneur Show, brought to you by Life Coaching Today magazine, empowering your health, your business, your community, your life. Check out the latest issue today at lifecoachingtoday.com. Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.